How is the AEW Universe doing? I'm Bulldog, and we are here with two awesome guests. We are here with Chris and Aaron. Chris was in my Super Bowl video, Super Bowl predictions, and Aaron is one of Chris's friends.
So yes. Hi, guys. Thank you for having us on the Will channel.
Are you part of the Wyatt family?
You never know. I'm getting my 23andMe right now, and that's a possibility.
So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a bunch of wrestling topics, and because this is actually Chris's idea.
I don't have very many ideas.
When
I have them, they're good.
Yeah, but so we have a bunch of wrestling questions here, and what we want to start off with is your top five wrestlers of all time.
All time?
Not of 1990s, not of the 80s, not of the modern era, just of now.
All time. Well, they have to be in a specific order? Because my top five could kind of fluctuate back. Maybe they could all be my number ones.
No, it has to be your number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, that's going to be rough. This is subject to change, ladies and gentlemen.
We're gonna be here a while.
Yeah. What about you, Will?
I actually know mine by memory. So my number 1 is Undertaker, 2 is Orton, 3 is Triple H, 4 is Cena, and 5 is Batista.
Wow.
Nice. Triple H.
Well, I'd have to say my number 1 has probably always been the Hitman.
Yes.
Obviously.
Bret Hart. The excellence of execution. Then I could see the Undertaker in there, maybe at 2. Yeah, then you got
it doesn't sound like he'd be number 2. He's like, I can see him.
Big Daddy Cool Diesel. I was a Kurt Hennig fan too, Mr. Perfect.
Oh man, Chris.
Oh, sorry, dude.
Yeah, you're
sorry, man. You got the Macho Man?
I know.
Hell yeah. Who's your number 5 though?
Listen, I might go out on a limb on this one. Like maybe find a bigger guy. Let's talk about Bam Bam Bigelow.
Ooh.
Huh?
Bam.
All right.
Bam Bam.
Bam Bam.
We actually got Bam Bam right here because they were watching the match.
Little special guest appearance.
Bam Bam.
Post-mortem appearance.
Bam hanging out with the Bam Bam.
All right, who's your top 5?
My top 5. I'm just gonna go off the cuff here because it changes daily, but I'm gonna have to go with it. And it just changed again as I'm thinking. I'm gonna have to say the immortal one, Hulk Hogan.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Good pick.
Number 1. Yeah, draft him right away.
Draft him.
Number 2. Man, I'd have to.
We're on a time limit. Come on.
I'm sorry, man. We're gonna go Bret the Hitman Hart, Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh yeah. And I'm going overall. Like you have to go Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I was like,
not even mentioned.
I was thinking
13-time world champion.
16.
Yeah.
Even more now. See? Amazing. No, untouchable. What are we at? What was that, 4?
Which is one more than.
Oh man.
Cena's tied.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd say Undertaker, Kurt Angle in there.
Oh yeah, good.
Kurt's good. All right,
So me and Chris is similar.
All right, so the next one is. Who do you think was the best wrestler to never hold a world championship?
Ooh.
Like they never held the world title, the WWF title, the WWE title, but they did hold like the US Intercontinental or tag team.
Okay, I can think of a couple right offhand. Owen Hart.
He never held the title?
Nope.
Owen Hart.
That's
Owen
surprising.
Hart. Razor Ramon. Scott Hall.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
I thought he would have held it. He was an Intercontinental title guy.
Mr. Perfect.
Mr. Perfect.
I can see that.
Mr. Perfect's probably the
with
biggest
that.
surprise on that one. He should have held it at some point. Like he was amazing in the ring. Watch those old matches with him and Hogan in the early 90s, late 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Carried those matches.
Before they sold him out.
Yeah.
Bret Hart, King of the Ring. Protest. Still under protest.
I'd say my surprising one would probably be, I think Jake Roberts should have won one of them.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Roberts.
Jake Roberts. Forgot all about Jake.
Well, why not? Pick Jake, come on. Who's your guy?
Oh man, never to hold a title. And this is just off style alone and technique. The greatest wrestler of all time, Dean Malenko.
Dean Malenko.
Dean Malenko.
That's good.
The man of 1,000 holds.
The man of 1,001 holds.
But Jericho beat him for 1,004.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jericho cheated, I'm sure. I didn't watch the whole match.
Probably
There's a lot of arm drag
If it was
variations on
if it was
that.
a clean match, straight up, Stu Hart's basement, we're going Dean Malenko all day.
All right, so the next question is, who do you think was the best tag team of all time?
Ooh, that's hard. Oh man.
Like, who do you
You
think?
wanna
Who
go
do you think?
first?
Who do you think?
Dude, I don't know. There's a handful. I'm gonna just name drop a couple.
No, who do you
Yeah.
think made the biggest impact on the tag team scene and led the way to what we have today?
The Hart Foundation.
Yeah, but the Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doom, but they sold out to WCW and went underground and kind of.
The Road Warriors.
Their outfit was better than their wrestling technique.
Sure.
You could even say the Steiner Brothers.
Steiner Brothers.
Steiner Brothers. Demolition. But I loved. I mean, probably the ultimate tag team was the Undertaker and Kane when they were rocking together.
What about the Mega Powers?
Oh, I forgot about those guys. I forgot about that.
It was
Hogan and Savage.
Yeah.
Hogan, right to the heart, son. Right? What? I forgot all about it. Thanks for bringing that one back.
My favorite would probably be the Hardy Boys.
Hardy
Boys.
Boys.
Oh, excellent.
Hart Foundation.
They invented their own style of
What about the-
hardcore tag.
What about the Rockers?
Oh,
Marty
yeah.
Jannetty?
The Rockers, yeah, definitely. Gimmick. I mean, they were great. they were great. One was better than the other, but yeah, excellent choice. But even Kane and X-Pac, I loved seeing them two together. That was
That was like a big man and a little man.
Yeah, that's why I liked it. It mixed it up because them tall men had 3 wrestling moves, and then you got X-Pac with like 60, so it was pretty. It evened out excellently.
Remember Stars and Stripes with the Patriot and Marcus Bagwell?
Listen, I just want to throw a shout out to Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the things he's done for the special needs community. Oh!
So, is that it for that question?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're
So, what would be a dream match that you guys would want that would be able to happen? Well, not really be able to happen, but just
Oh, that never happened?
that never happened. That you think should have happened, and it could have been like a box office.
The best match of all time?
Yeah, like one of
Bret
those.
Hart versus Kurt Angle.
That would be a good
That
one.
would've-
Do you think Bret would tap out like into the ankle lock,
Who knows?
or do you
Maybe
think,
they
or do
make
you
it
think Angle would tap out into the sharpshooter?
Maybe they make it an Iron Man match, most
Ooh.
miles in an hour, huh?
Kurt's been good though. He's had a good one with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, 2 technical wrestlers at the prime. Yeah,
I know who mine would be. Mine would be Rock versus Shawn Michaels. Those two
Oh,
never
yeah.
fought.
That never happened, did it?
No, it didn't.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, that was a
They,
surprise.
I actually read around somewhere like they never really had good chemistry. Like they didn't want to. They didn't want to.
2 huge egos
Yeah, that's
clashing.
really what it
Yeah.
was.
The
Another-
wrestling's behind the scenes is ridiculous.
Another good one would be Stone Cold and Hogan.
Yeah, that would have been a good
Hey,
match.
Rambo, shush.
Well, you're on the cusp of what I'm thinking, and I think the world wrestling whole fandom is thinking the Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Goldberg. We never got to see the duplicate match, the clone,
Yeah.
the
Battle of the
stolen
Balds.
clone.
Battle
yeah.
of the Balds.
I mean, that to me probably would be something that should have happened, even if
It
it was
should
on the
have.
side.
We always thought it was gonna happen.
Yeah,
Dude, I
they were
think-
building when
Yeah.
when WWF bought WCW. We were expecting that match.
It might have happened.
Never
It might have happened like if Goldberg and Stone Cold didn't leave after like the WrestleMania 20 match.
I'll tell you right now why it didn't happen. Goldberg
Is
is an egomaniac and doesn't like to take L's, and they couldn't decide on a good finish. So, no offense, Goldberg, you're mediocre.
At best.
All right. So what the next question is that I want to do is who do you think is the most overrated superstar or diva wrestler? Who do you think?
Ah, Chris, you
And
go
I
first on
already,
this one.
I have an idea already. I've been thinking about
That's a
this
good one. Hold on a minute.
Who's dying out there?
No. There's a hurricane coming!
Hardcore matches in the backyard.
But yeah, so in my mind, I think Becky Lynch, the current,
Really?
like because I get the beginning of her, but then she just went way too up.
I got 2 on this one, and I have to split it up. The first would be Shane McMahon. Using him to steal all the best WrestleMania drops or moves, getting thrown off. If you've noticed, his best matches were already done by creative and better people,
Yeah.
and I hate that the jump across the ring into the trash can's been done. Rob Van Dam for years. The Undertaker
So
threw.
basically, Shane McMahon's a copycat.
He's a copycat, and his mid-talent used the best wrestling moves of decades to make his story, and it really angers me. The other one is, I hate to do it, John Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it.
That's right.
Came right into the scene right away and punked out The Undertaker. When his first debut came out, he had the chains in his hands, and he was punking out the Undertaker, and they let him beat the Undertaker. I totally believe in the coming and earning your right in wrestling, and you have to get a respect with your wrestling. You don't just get babyface off the rip like that and gain
He was a heel when he came in, wasn't he?
Well, because they threw him against the big dog, man. The Undertaker should have been able to clean him up with his lack of wrestling skills like that.
Yeah.
But no, they let him go toe to toe with him. They over promoted him. I want to say off the start, just like Brock Lesnar.
Nah, the most.
I'm done.
Nah, most overrated of all time is Goldberg.
Goldberg. Yeah.
It's definitely Goldberg.
Yes.
And here's why.
I think
your whole gimmick
won.
Your whole gimmick is a win streak.
Yes.
Come on, man.
I think he just should have stayed in WCW.
Oh, and the best match, Saturn. I think 3 matches in, Saturn took it to him. That's all I'm gonna say. Watch that Saturn Goldberg match, and you tell me who should have won. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wasn't there a match between Goldberg and William Regal where William Regal was just
Regal took him to school out there.
90% of Goldberg's wins are jobbers. I think Barry Horowitz was one of them.
So, all right, is that it for that question?
Self high five.
All right, so then we're gonna go to a little bit similar. Who do you think was the most underrated wrestler?
Ooh,
I'd
have to stick with my man.
Who do you think was like really good, but they didn't get that push?
All right, I'm giving 2. Definitely Dean Malenko, man.
Yeah.
Dean Malenko's wrestling style was adapted. I mean, when WWF bought him, he basically turned into training wrestlers for the choreography. I mean, and style. If you're doing it, but his matches alone, him against I hate to say the name, Chris Benoit.
Oh, I was gonna say it.
What the hell? I'm gonna get untied.
I know. I'm sorry about that one, folks, but their wrestling styles were amazing when they matched together properly. The second was how the WWF did my boy dirty, Rob Van Dam, RVD.
But he was the WWE champion and ECW champion.
Yeah, for
He was the
3 days.
ECW champion for 7 years with the TV title. Comes to WCW, they kind of jobbed him out a little bit. But that man's wrestling talents to what the WWF just ruined him, by the way, Vince. I'm still upset about Cousin Rob. Yeah, Vince.
What about Raven?
Ooh.
Oh, what about Raven?
What about Raven?
What about
me?
Raven? What about it?
Stop.
Yeah, Emily knows. Emily knows about that. The DDT, that was a good DDT he had down too.
Quote the Raven.
Yeah. And he was handicapped. One of his legs was shorter than the other. He had to wear a high heel. Come on now.
Really?
You couldn't tell, could you?
You didn't read that?
You couldn't
No,
tell?
I didn't know that.
You gotta watch the footwork, son.
Was Big Boss Man underrated? I'm not sure.
The Big Boss Man?
Yeah, but he never really won a title.
They finally let him. Back then, you had to prove heel for decades before they let you turn babyface, especially if you weren't a muscly cut guy. It was very whacked back then. But they eventually did towards the end, but I don't think he ever won a good title and went on a run, anything like that.
General rule of thumb, don't mess with a guy who wields a billy club.
Yeah. I think one of the people that was underrated because his way of being able to do a gimmick was the guy who played Papa Shango in The Godfather.
Yeah, for pushing his gimmicks to be great.
Remember Kama, the supreme
right
fighting machine?
Oh, that was good.
Yeah. No, definitely a great wrestler for his size. You're right, Will. Definitely underrated. I don't know about the most, Dean Malenko, but pretty close.
All right, so from your memory, who do you think had the best WWE title reign? And you were like, that guy should have held the title for years.
Oh man, that's a good one. Should I do some tomfoolery? Some honky tonk man?
My favorite.
The best Intercontinental champion all
his
time.
run was excellent.
Honky Tonk Man was totally underrated.
Yeah.
He was totally underrated.
His Intercontinental run was
He was about right where he needed to be.
Yeah.
With being rated.
A little overrated, but his speech was excellent, so it made up for his lack of skill.
I'd say my reign that I feel like should have gone longer would have probably been CM Punk.
CM Punk.
It was a long time though.
I know, but he shouldn't have lost to The Rock. I mean, he would have been happy if he had just main evented WrestleMania. If he lost, he wouldn't have minded.
I don't know. I was always mad when they took it off Bret Hart in the 90s because they always put it on somebody that didn't draw like he did.
Ron Artest. Should I say it? No, Artest. David Arquette.
Yeah, Arquette.
David Arquette.
David Arquette.
Sorry.
He should have held it way
David
longer.
Arquette run. That didn't ruin WCW or anything.
Or the finger poke.
Get out of here. That was worse when than when Hogan electric zapped Kevin Nash.
Oh, it's the most devastating finishing hold.
That's
Have you ever had that happen to you?
The devastating poke? I never. Hogan though, you never know. His finishing moves don't look tough.
I've never been
They obviously are.
I've never been poked by Hogan.
Yeah, I've never had a slow leg drop on my neck either, but I'm sure I wouldn't wake up from it.
But alright, so there's another question that sort of equals into this. Who do you think, when they won the title, you're like, I hope this dude loses in, like, the next week?
Oh, Brock Lesnar.
Same.
Yeah,
I was thinking about that. That's why
I'm sorry, Brock,
Yeah.
but
Sorry, Brock.
you're a jerk, dude. I don't like
Like,
you
I don't
at
mind
all.
him as the
Well,
champion.
no, because you just knew you wouldn't see the title for 6 months.
And how do you come back and you don't even have to work up to it? You're just in the title match, like. Yeah,
Oh wait, I know an underrated. Like back to the other question. Like another underrated person is The Miz.
The Miz. Oh, excellent work. And
Yeah.
I just love his whole story of being a wrestling fanatic on an MTV.
Awesome!
Like coming up with his own gimmick. He didn't get pushed to gimmick. Into what he does now, he's excellent on the microphone.
He actually won the WWE title for like 5
Yeah.
days, like a few.
I call
months
it.
ago.
I call it like the
That's my
Ric-
favorite moment in
yeah,
wrestling.
the
recently.
Ric Flair
Yeah.
path. What is it? What's yours? The Ric Flair path, where you start off as a heel and you're always accepting of that role, and you never expected to be a good guy.
Yeah, but you never change, but
Yeah,
you become a good guy just because you're such a good heel.
I love it. No forced
Alright,
baby
so
face.
one that just came to mind was what moment in history did I think you actually talked to me about this while we were in just the intermission. When you before you I don't know how to phrase this. So you were into wrestling, but it's like this might be just something that I'm into. Like, this might be a phase, but this thing happens and you're like, holy shit, this is awesome.
Yeah, the ball drop moment. What made you not sleep at night?
Yeah.
I'll tell you
It
mine.
was so amazing.
I'll tell you mine was the freaking imposter referee.
Oh,
That freaking
yes.
you remember that?
Too old.
It was
Super gimmicks. Oh, it's so
when he said he had
beautiful.
plastic surgery, and I was like,
Wait, was it really a twin
what?
or was it plastic surgery?
no, it was Dave Hebner and Earl Hebner.
They were twin brothers.
Yeah. And they tried to pass it off like he had surgery to screw Hogan out of the title when DiBiase beat him.
What a great! That's like that's the ultimate gimmick moment ever.
Yeah, he
Now, that's-
clearly kicked out, but the
brilliant.
referee counted him down.
What would be my moment? I'd say my moment was probably the time CM Punk blew a kiss to CM Punk to Vince McMahon.
Oh, nice. Got you all pumped up.
Yeah.
Well, they hated each other behind the scenes too,
Yeah.
so
There was
made
a lot
it
of
that much
realism.
more.
The best-
that much more better.
The best segments already are grounded in realism. So,
Yeah.
like
Well-
if you're working off of a shoot, it always becomes better. Like that Montreal Screwjob.
Oh, damn, that's a great one. Montreal Screwjob. Everybody felt that one.
Yeah, I still feel that.
But that's more of the upset me moment. I would say the positive moment was when I was an NWO fan, and the only people holding WCW together was the Big Show, Lex Luthor,
Sting.
Lex
Sting.
Luger.
There was like 3 and DDP. So those 4 against
Ooh,
like
DDP.
20 NWO people, and then the Big Show. Paul, what's his real name? Paul White.
Paul White.
Paul White turned to NWO out of nowhere. Goldberg too was on the WCW. Turned out of nowhere to NWO and just cleaned house. And then they cut the show of them just cleaning house. I couldn't sleep all night.
So I got a question for you guys. That's off your list over here.
Uh-oh.
What would you think about if you had an idea to give a current wrestler a gimmick? Like, what would that gimmick be to make them over?
I don't know. Roman's gimmick is awesome. The Fiend's gimmick is awesome. They need to give a gimmick to Ricochet because he's a really good in-ring.
What
worker.
kind of gimmick though would you?
I don't know.
Gimmicks are tough nowadays.
How about Paul White Walker? They make the giant a White Walker from Game of Thrones.
I was wondering Sheamus not being a damn Viking.
Oh, that's a good one.
Hook him up.
They should make him Rocksteady and Bebop like the movie, and just dress them all up.
Yeah.
Get him a tag team partner.
Bad gimmick
I
match.
mean, he had Cesaro for a
Yeah.
while.
Oh, that's another good tag team. The Bar. Those guys were great.
Cesaro and Sheamus.
Cesaro and Sheamus. That was one of the best tag teams
Cesaro.
ever.
Oh, I
Yeah, and
missed
then who got in
it.
there? Was
No.
it Cesaro that got in there?
I can't remember, but they were
Oh.
great.
You would shout out to the most underrated. I just popped in my head now, not to go back to it.
It's fine.
But Sabu.
Oh.
Sabu before it was off of pay per
That guy
view
was
onto regular
insane.
TV. The stuff. Just go look at the scars on his face if you want to know how hardcore that dude took it back in the day. Little shout out to Sabu.
So, a question that I'm kind of looking forward to hear your guys' answer for is, Who do you think?
Time.
So we are back from that mess up. So anyway, the question was, who do you think is the best interviewer? Like, when that interview came on, you were like, this is gonna be a classic.
Ooh, you just changed it up again. Let me do this one. Piper's Pit, man.
Ooh.
Piper's Pit had the best interviews, especially when this guy was on Piper's Pit. Oh yeah.
What about the Heartbreak Hotel with Shawn Michaels?
I didn't know that.
Huh?
Yes.
I didn't know that was one.
And then Big Daddy Cool standing there in the back, not saying anything, with the bouncer.
No, I'm cute. No, I'm
So
sexy.
are we just gonna do like talk shows? Is that
What
what it
yeah,
is?
the barbershop.
Well, those are interviews.
You don't remember the barbershop?
I do.
It's where Shawn Michaels turned heel and kicked
Hell
his boy
yeah.
Marty Jannetty through the window.
It like morphed into more of a backstage thing, I would say, in the modern era. So your backstage interviews. Remember when Shawn Michaels was getting interviewed and he just was sweet chin music and everybody? For some reason he was mad. I forget exactly why. He was just anybody that walked by. He was just, that's probably one of the better ones.
He was yelling like I'm not like I know the meaning of controversial, all that shit.
Yes, I'd have to refresh my memory on it, but I do just remember him like randomly sweet chin musicking like people just walking by with papers.
Hey, what's your name?
Like,
What's your name? Steve.
It doesn't matter.
Boom.
Yes.
So I think my favorite I can't really think of like my favorite interviewer, but my favorite like talk show interview would probably be Miz TV.
Nice.
Miz. I love the Miz, man. Congrats to that dude.
So and then we have, who do you think was the best manager? When that superstar comes out, that guy, like you're not watching the match, you're watching what the manager's doing.
Oh man, Mr. Fuji, a little throwback to old school.
How about?
He got involved.
Oh yes!
I was totally thinking
man!
Paul Bearer.
Undertaker was weak. Paul Bearer was weak though.
Undertaker was weak.
I'm sorry. I misspoke on that one. I meant Paul Bearer. Paul Bearer was a great interviewee or speechist.
Yeah.
But him trying to do a leg grab is about it. You can get out and beat him up.
The Road Dogg.
Mr. Fuji though, he'd be blowing smoke in your eyes. You don't know what that crazy fool was up to.
Throwing salt.
His extra efforts kept Yokozuna in a title for a little bit longer than it's supposed to be.
So there's one that I was talking to Aaron about, but I don't think you heard about. But so what match? When you think of this match, it's like this was an awesome match, but you don't hear anybody talking about it.
You want me to go?
Go for it.
Jeff Jarrett versus Shawn Michaels for the Intercontinental title in your house. That match is so good.
Yeah, they're
if
both
you watch
excellent
it back.
wrestlers.
And
too.
nobody ever talks about that match, but it's when Shawn Michaels beat him for the Intercontinental title in '95.
Yeah,
and it is a
And had that classic
great
title reign?
match. It's a great match.
What about yours?
I'm gonna go out to how The Rock did Hogan really good. I don't know if it was Australia, Canada, or something.
No, it was Toronto. It was WrestleMania.
It was amazing. When Hogan.
A lot of people talk about that match.
So Hogan Hogan threw The Rock into the ropes and The Rock let him do a choke slam. Turned into it. You got to see Hogan doing like a modern move besides a leg drop and a headlock for 2 hours. He grabbed him by the neck and it turned into a swinging choke slam. And The Rock sold so well in that match. It made Hogan look so good. It was like definitely an homage to the Great One. And probably should have been his last match after that, I would say.
There's two matches for me. Number one being Triple H versus John Cena at WrestleMania 23. Because
Studs.
I remember seeing an interview like Edge had like 1 month to be able to beat the system and say like I'm going to be the champion for WrestleMania, but he didn't. So he had a match with Mick Foley that year in a hardcore match, which made him spear Mick Foley through a table, table. And like so, the ironic thing is, everyone still talks about the like Mick Foley versus Edge match, but I hear nobody talking about Triple H versus Cena, which was still a great match.
You're right.
And another one, I have another one with Triple H. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels at Bad Blood in 2003 in a Hell in a Cell match. That was one hell of a match.
It's Triple H, man. Triple H, I call the young, him and Shawn Michaels have like created their artistry after the Great One, Ric Flair.
Yeah, no.
So they have the best sells. The Shawn Michaels his sells are amazing, but Triple H himself, I would say, would be up there a little bit slightly higher than Shawn Michaels with his sells. The way he takes hits, plays the bad guy role. Like Triple H is the incarnate
Of Arn Anderson, I think.
Oh,
He's Arn Anderson.
Arn Anderson is good, but Ric Flair was the best. So I kind of steer it that way. But definitely, I would say.
All right, so is that it for that question?
Yeah, you go to the.
All right, so worst gimmick. When this guy came out, you're like,
Yes! Sebastian Booger! Oh! What were you even thinking, son? Why?
Wash those stinking trunks.
I think it only lasted like a week, too. It might have been longer, but my brain tries to erase stupidity.
Remember he started, his outfit was white?
It was like half mummy, dirty guy. I don't know what the heck
he
was
was
going
like a
on.
grown fat baby.
It's like they hated that guy, and you're like, hey, you have to wear this and go out there. And they just laughed at you the whole time. So.
Well, how about here's a bad gimmick that's had a ton of longevity. How about the Brooklyn Brawler?
Oh.
Steve Lombardi.
Brooklyn Brawler, excellent jobber.
Yeah.
Up there with
He's probably still working there with him. Steve Lombardi, man. Wow.
Him and Virgil.
Virgil. That's a great.
Yes.
That was a great gimmick.
There you go. The best. What do you call the under guy? I would say.
Underdog?
No, the one that jobber.
Yeah,
The best jobber would go to.
My best jobber would probably be Heath Slater.
Anybody on the NWO that didn't go to the black, I mean the black and red, the NWO black and white that didn't go to the NWO black and red.
Like Scott Norton.
The all jobber crew.
Scott Norton.
Yeah.
I'm
How
not
about,
sure what mine would be.
The best, who always loses, but
Sick Boy.
gives a great effort. Sick Boy.
Ziggler.
Yeah, Ziggler. That's also who I agree should have a bigger push right now too. Like,
Yeah, you
freaking
pay,
best.
I think I remember like
you pay your
in
dues, you get your ride. That's how it's
an
supposed
interview
to be.
he said like they didn't let me become world champion because they didn't like his hair.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Vince is a
I get it.
jerk. I almost said it. You're old. Vince is a jerk. That's all we can say about that.
Ziggler gives me the Mr. Perfect vibes all day. Like he wrestles just like him.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Kurt
That dude
Hennig,
needs to be
underrated. And he beat Bret Hart in the King of the Ring. I'll bring it up again. If you watch that match when he did the Perfect Plex,
So
Bret Hart's shoulders were pinned.
another one is most overrated tag team. You're like these guys come in. You're like they're the champions or something, but you're just not buying it.
I'm gonna be a jerk on this one. Demolition, you fake version of LOD or Road Warriors, whatever you want to call them. The clone version, WWF stealing gimmicks.
What about Men on a Mission? Remember those guys?
Yes.
Mo and Mabel.
Yes. Yes.
They'd rap tag team coming down to the freaking ring.
When you need an inhaler to finish a match.
I'm grabbing this remote for this next bit. So here's the question that just popped in my mind. What moment in wrestling did something happen and you're just like, nope.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
just turn
Montreal
off the TV.
Screwjob.
Yeah.
I think we all feel.
Absolutely.
We're still not over that. The best loogie on TV ever.
Yeah.
Oh, Ace Ventura style loogie.
I'd say Montreal Screwjob. The next one would be probably when they ended the Undertaker streak.
Oh,
Probably.
God, yes.
Like,
that
why?
still hurts.
Yeah, why?
I still think Roman should have been the one, pretty much.
No. I think they should have let it ride forever.
Because Brock Lesnar's
should've-
overrated, that's why.
In my mind,
Sorry.
I think he just should have stopped at 20.
You beat him at SummerSlam, not WrestleMania.
Well, you let
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels, somebody that earned it.
Yeah, like
Somebody
Shawn
that's put 30 years in the business.
No, I think
Not a big fat meat-headed guy that can barely turn his neck, even if he has one. I don't even think he does.
I don't agree with you for Shawn Michaels being the one to beat him, but I feel like Triple H should have been the one after that. Triple H should have been the one.
Triple H paid his
No,
dues. They're
see,
both-
the thing is, you want to have the guy beat him that it's going to affect the most going forward.
Yeah, it
it's
should have
going
been
to give
Roman
him a
then.
big
Alright.
push.
Should have been
All
Roman
right,
then.
yeah,
Roman or Bray Wyatt.
I agree
Like
with that.
Lesnar didn't need that.
Roman Reigns, maybe then.
Yeah, should have been Roman or Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt would have had. I think he wasn't ready by that point. He was.
Yeah, and like a
Should've
barely
been Gilbert.
a barely win.
Gilbert is an underrated gimmick. That's one of the best gimmicks.
Doink Jr. It's been done. It's been done since I was a kid.
Dink.
Well, actually, here's a question.
Dink. That was.
Here's a question on the spot that might I've already gotten the answer. What's your favorite gimmick? This guy comes out and he's like, oh, fun time.
Favorite gimmick, man. The Godfather, son.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was watching.
Yeah. I didn't like his wrestling skills, but his gimmick was solid.
I was watching a 2014 Royal Rumble and I hear.
You want to go one-on-one with the bad guy?
Hello, ladies. How about that
Yeah,
one?
Val Venus.
A porn star.
Oh, I
That's
forgot
gotta be
about
the.
Venus.
Is that would be the worst gimmicks? I'd say no. A solid worst
Was
gimmick.
like, I'm gonna penetrate the WWF inch by inch.
Hello, ladies. Yeah.
Who would be mine? I'm not sure. I'd say Doink.
Doink.
Doink was
Which
neat.
Doink though, right? Isn't there a conspiracy behind that?
Evil Clown
Yeah.
Doink. That's the first one. That's the good one.
There's like 70 Doinks.
How about the
You didn't know
$1 Million
that, did you?
Man? That's a great
Ooh,
gimmick.
I mean, he was actually, yeah. I don't know why I was about to argue.
We're not allowed. Yeah, culture appropriation. We're not allowed to bring up that whole wrestling period.
All right, so
Virgil.
there's we have one.
He hasn't been unlocked in our game yet.
We have one more question. I don't know why I saved this for last, but
Yeah.
who do you think was the best big man? This guy came in and you're in awe.
Oh man, I'd have to say Big
Andre.
Oh wow!
That's dude. You shot for the stars on that
Yeah,
one.
you actually pulled the rug out. On
Yeah,
him.
like this.
Like my guy in my head,
Andre,
perfect.
Yeah.
Wait, no,
But you
Andre,
just-
Andre or Bundy?
No, Andre.
Andre
really,
over
Bundy was
Bundy.
a jobber. Really
Yeah.
was.
Bundy was wrestling in high schools in the 90s.
Which was excellent, by the way.
Yeah,
I
excellent.
appreciate you coming out to
Thank
us.
you. I watched you crush Doink the Clown 95. Governor Mifflin High, Pennsylvania.
Nice.
Like,
I think Braun Strowman's doing good, bro. He's a really good big guy.
I'd have to.
Vader.
Oh, he's good.
Gator. I have to go with Kevin Nash, man. That's my dude. Big sexy. I love the whole NWO outbreak and Kevin Nash powerbombing everybody. I think he was the second person to beat Goldberg besides when Bret Hart beat him in 5 seconds. Yeah, second loss to the GB. Overrated.
I don't want to end it off on that because it just sounds stupid. So here's a good question I think you guys will like. What's that moment that you just something happened, a guy came out or like a reversal happened, that 1, 2, 3 happened, and you're just like, yes, it happened.
I'd say when Kevin Nash beat Bob Backlund at Madison Square Garden in 8 seconds.
That was
Because I hated Bob Backlund. And there was no reason for him to be the champion in late 94. Way past his prime.
I'm going to say the flip your script from, not to be an old head answer, but the flip your script when Bret Hart couldn't go on in the wrestling match against Yokozuna. And the great one, Hulk Hogan came out to finish a job and beat him.
You were happy about that?
Yeah, because you just didn't want, it didn't matter who it was, you just didn't want Yokozuna to have the belt anymore and watch him lay on people for an hour.
What about
very boring?
What about Hogan's black eye he had during that?
Oh, man, that was rough.
What happened?
He's lucky he made it out there with that black eye.
Did Macho Man give that to you? Stop looking at Liz.
Oh, yeah.
And here's another quick one. I don't think I answered the last question because I don't know my answer. But what's that moment that like either you hated or really liked when it happened, but then like later on in your life you're like, that was not a good moment. That was horrible.
Should I tell him about Rey Mysterio?
No, you'll have to tune in next
Save
week.
that.
But yeah,
No,
or maybe
that
that was a really bad moment and you're like, that was pretty good.
No, I tried to stop that one, literally.
No, I mean, yeah.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Chris, you have to go on this one.
I'm thinking that's a.
Man, I don't want to
That's a
sound
tough one,
repetitive
yeah.
either, but when King of the Ring.
I hate to beat a dead horse here, but
Silly right, man. Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig was a better wrestler than Bret Hart at that time period. He just broke off into solo, and he should have won that to go on the King of the Ring against Bam Bam, I do believe.
I mean, let's talk about SummerSlam '91 when Kurt Hennig went to drop a leg on Bret. And Bret reversed it into the sharpshooter.
Oh, wait, what happened?
Beat him for the title.
What happened?
The Intercontinental win for the Hitman,
No,
91.
versus who?
Mr. Perfect.
Oh.
Great match, by the way.
Yeah, two
Great
of the best
match.
to do it.
Stu and Helen were in attendance for that one.
Yeah, they propped up Stu. Sorry about that. No,
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Love you, Stu.
We love you guys in Canada, by the way.
Yeah, huge Canadian fan.
Yeah, huge name. Molson's.
A lot of my demographic is actually some Canadians, like from Canada.
See?
Yeah.
Love
We
you,
love you
Canadians.
guys.
Hell yeah. Best wrestlers come out
Come
of
on,
there.
guy.
Actually, the best there ever is came out of there.
Yeah, Terrence and Phillip. Come on, guy.
So I think that pretty much wraps it up. We had a lot of fun here. So anyway,
Yes, thank you for having us on.
Thank
Will.
you for having
Appreciate
us. What is it, your AHCW
AHCW.
universe?
Yeah.
it. Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna do my outro because I feel like it'd be weird to do it in front of all these people.
Just
So
do
I'm
it.
gonna-
Yeah, just
you
drop
want me
it.
to do
Drop the
Do a
outro.
spinner
This is
really,
what
too.
this is what we do.
You want me to do my outro?
Do the outro.
Alright,
You
so
gotta
anyway,
get it
we
legit.
are going to end this video here. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit the like button with your finisher, then pin it for the 1, 2, 3 count. But if you disliked it, please tell me what I could do better in the next video or in the future. And bye. And I'll see you in the next video. See ya.